Hi guys. Okay, Mrs. Brown is going to read Randy Riley's really big hit. Mrs. Brown is a very big fan of baseball. All right, here we go. So meet Randy Riley. Randy Riley stood at bat. He gazed out at the mound. His knees began to tremble and his heart began to pound. Then Randy started thinking about the pitcher's throw. He wondered, without gravity, how far the ball would go. And as he stood there pondering, strike 3 went whizzing by. "You're out," he heard the umpire call, then walked off with a sigh. See, Randy was a genius. He just couldn't hit the ball. He struck out every time at bat. He wasn't good at all. But something beyond baseball brought a smile to Randy's face. What Randy Riley really loved was stuff from outer space. He studied all the planets. He memorized their tilts. He researched how the thrusters on the rocket ships were built. He knew the constellations and the light years to the stars. And wouldn't it be great, he thought, to ride a bike on Mars? That would be pretty cool. When Randy Riley got back home, he went up to his room. He knew he stunk at baseball, and it filled his heart with gloom. So he took his favorite robots from the shelf above his bed and staged a game of baseball with his robot team instead. That night before he went to sleep, Randy scanned the sky, and through his Spaceboy telescope, a glimmer caught his eye. He fiddled with the focus till he saw it crystal clear. It was a massive fireball, and it was coming near. Alarmed, he started plotting the projection of its path. He formulated diagrams. He double-checked his math. He calculated quickly and concluded with a frown. In 19 days, the fireball would crash into his town. Randy Riley flew downstairs to warn his mom and dad. The impact would be major and the damage would be bad. He explained the situation until his face was red, but they told him he was tired and they sent him off to bed. Poor Randy couldn't sleep at all. He thought the whole night through. By morning, it was obvious just what he had to do. He gathered what he needed with determined resolution and lugged it off behind the shed to work on his solution. Randy toiled for 18 days while other kids had fun, but he was on a mission, so he worked till it was done. He's working hard and the other kids are out there playing baseball. Maybe that's where Randy Riley should be so he can get better at baseball. At breakfast on the 19th day, the news announcer said, "This is a special bulletin! Emergency! Code red! A fireball's approaching. It just flew past the moon. It's coming fast, so be prepared, for it will hit by noon." So see, he was right, and his mom and dad didn't believe him. And now they're the ones panicking. Everybody burst outside as panic grew. But Randy Riley ran behind the shed that he had a job to do. He grabbed the tarp and gave a tug. It slid off to reveal the mighty mammoth robot man he'd welded out of steel. The robot needed power, and Randy knew precisely that 97 batteries would energize it nicely. The eyes lit up. The engine whirled. Step 1 was now complete. So far, so good, thought Randy. Then they'll thunder down the street. Step 2 of Randy's mission took place just south of town, in a section known as Millville, where he slowed the robot down. The robot ripped the smokestack off an old abandoned mill. Then Randy turned the throttle knob to march him up the hill. So hopefully you can kind of start to tell what he's going to do. Back in town, the people were as frightened as could be, but Randy knew the time had come for critical step 3. The robot burst out through the trees, stepped up and took a stance, while everyone fell silent as if frozen in a trance. Randy's eyes were on the ball. No room for error now. 3, 2, 1, and flip the switch. A swoosh, and then, what does it look like is gonna happen? Kapow! A blinding flash, a booming crash. He knew what he had done. Randy Riley had a hit, his very first home run. The fireball sailed out of sight. A rousing cheer began. Hooray for Randy Riley and his giant metal man! And as the crowd went crazy, Randy stood there with a grin and mumbled, how predictable, a fastball low and in. When things returned to normal after Randy saved the day, he went back to the baseball field to join his friends at play. And though his swing's in earnest, he rarely hits the ball, but that's okay, 'cause Randy's had the biggest hit of all. And that's the end. All right. Now, we just need better weather so that we can get outside and maybe we can hit the ball. Have a great weekend.